Hello, today we will talk about media bias. These days, we can see a flood of information in daily life and receive information that we want to know in various ways. However, there are also dangers in it. One of the dangers is media bias. It is a perceived bias of journalists and news producers within the mass media in the selection of events and stories that are reported and how they are covered. Since citizens cannot cast informed votes or make knowledgeable decisions on matters of public policy, if the information on which they depend is distorted, it is vital to democracy society that television news and other media be fair and unbiased. One of common media biases is gatekeeping bias. This bias is made in the situation where people ignore the problems which disagree with their idea or opinions and accept only issues which agree with their point of view. And also, one of the reasons for creating this bias is echo chamber. Echo chamber means the phenomenon where his or her opinion is strengthened by repeating communication with those who have the same opinion within a closed community where nobody challenges to him or her. I think many people want others to approve of their own opinions. If they communicate with only people who have similar opinions, they cannot think critically and cannot do multifaceted approach against problems. In the worst case, there is a danger that wrongdoing such as crimes are justified in the community. The problem of Kakegakuen is a typical example of echo chamber. The media take objection to Mr. Abe treat uncertain information as if it's accurate information, and criticize him depending on unreliable others' remarks. A reporter's job is to present balanced, accurate, and fair information. Media should inform dividing the fact and their bias and opinions.
Then I wanna tell you about advertising bias. These are famous CM companies we often see. We always see a lot of TV programs, and almost all these programs are including commercial times. Today, I talked about how these CM companies affect TV's information. At first, what is advertising bias? It means the distortion of information caused by the relationship of TV companies and sponsor companies. Then, why advertising bias is caused? The reason is related with TV companies' business style. Most of TV companies, which called Minpo in Japanese, are getting money from their CM sponsors. Thus, generally people think TV companies' consumers are citizens like us, but actually their real consumers are the CM sponsors. Because we don't pay for Minpo TV companies, on the other hand, sponsors pay too much money for them. That is why TV companies distort some of the information about their sponsors. For example, if there is bad information for sponsors, TV company maybe cut the information or make better the information in their programs. Finally, I mention about whether advertising bias is good or bad. In my opinion, we can't say advertising bias is bad thing. Of course, it is better that advertising bias don't exist. However, existing advertising bias is quite normal and natural thing because getting money from sponsors and making interesting TV programs are TV companies' business style. So the most important thing is viewers' TV literacy. If we know enough about advertising bias or TV companies' system, we wouldn't be the victims of TV advertising. So we have to have enough TV literacy and critical thinking for all of the information from TV. This is one important solution for advertising bias. Thank you for listening.
I would talk about corporate bias. Corporate bias is the impact that money has on media sources. Because media sources are also businesses, they are forced to try and get money through advertisements. To get advertisements, you need viewers. In order to get viewers, you must have the stories that people want to hear and see. This leads to media outlets running fluffy stories and making nice with important business and political leaders in order to ensure that they can secure them as guests on the show. Corporate bias is all around us. If you click on the homepage of any news source, there will be substantive stories. But there will also be stories about celebrities, scandals, cute animals, human interest stories, and etc. The media is often aware of their own corporate bias. For example, when Stephen Colbert took over on The Late Show for David Letterman, he was aware that people wanted to talk about Donald Trump, and programs thought that that is a chance. So they provide infotainment. Infotainment is a portmanteau word of information and entertainment. This piece of infotainment served multiple purposes. First, it showed viewers what Donald Trump was up to. Second, it provided entertainment. And finally, it poked fun at itself and its viewers by comparing the desire to show Trump stories to earn ratings to eating Oreos. You know you should stop, but you just can't. I think entertainment is one of the important factors of making program, but too much fluffy stories hide more important information. Media should more focus on journalism spirit, and viewers don't spend much time to watch vulgar media.
I'm Rei Kikuchi. Finally, I will introduce simplicity bias. First, what is the simplicity bias? Simplicity bias means cognitive bias towards holding views which can be explained by a simple narrative, as opposites to views which take more complex details into account and are generally more accurate, realistic, and balanced. Second, the advantage and disadvantage of simplicity bias. The advantages are usually related to something easier than complexity. For example, people can get more information in short time. Recently, many TV news programs make news simple, so many people can know what happened in our society in just 1 or 2 hours. It will be a positive opportunity to have interest and then to reach a real stories by themselves. However, usually many people are unlikely to search for facts. That's why, in the majority of cases, people misunderstand this simplified information. This is related to crime, a protest march, and sometimes election. So I think the simplicity information should be banished as soon as possible by media organization, or people should learn media literacy when they are students. In conclusion, there were 4 examples of media bias. These 4 are just examples of many other biases. So I want many people to know there are so many biased media in our society. Thank you for listening.